support Kim Jong Il's son, Kim Jong Un, as his successor. But there's uncertainty about the future of the country and indeed its nuclear weapons program, and that has been unsettling neighbouring countries. South Korea's armed forces are on alert. A foreign ministry official said the country was on a crisis footing. President Lee Myung-bak has spoken to President Obama, and the leaders agreed to cooperate closely and to monitor the situation together. President Lee urged South Koreans to remain calm. Japan says it is getting ready to deal with any unexpected security issues. Well, China, which is North Korea's main backer, said it was distressed to hear of Kim Jong Il's death. Those are pictures, of course, of Kim Jong Il and his great successor son, Kim Jong Un, the third of his sons. Well, the Australian Foreign Minister Kevin Rudd has been giving his reaction. He said that the region faced a period now of uncertainty.
This is the single largest militarily armed zone in the world. It has been thus for decades, and right now we're at one of those critical junctures in post-1950 military history where we need to ensure that calm and restraint are exercised at an exceptionally difficult period of transition.
Kevin Rudd there, but we'll be getting more reaction, but first let's just look back at Kim Jong Il's life. Here's our World Affairs correspondent, James Robbins.
The oddest of world leaders, living a largely secret life at the heart of an intensely secretive communist country. The cult of personality around Kim Jong Il means that even when and where he was born are in dispute. Official propaganda shows a double rainbow and a bright star announcing Kim Jong Il's birth in a log cabin on Korea's highest peak on the 16th of February 1942. But less helpful to the myth, Soviet records point instead to this town in eastern Russia, showing the son of North Korea's first president Kim Il-sung, born a year earlier in a Soviet army camp. He was schooled for leadership and increasingly groomed to succeed his father, the great leader, founder of Stalinist North Korea, thus creating the world's first hereditary communist state. Kim Jong Il's first public appearance was to mark his father's 80th birthday in 1992. 2 years later, Kim Il-sung died of a heart attack. The TV commentators wept. He was retitled Eternal President. Kim Jong Il's time had arrived. His public life followed the sterile pattern. Endless factory and military visits, constantly rerun on television. Some of the propaganda was much odder, as the man dubbed the Dear Leader watched his army of bodyguards showing off their strengths. It all stoked the idea of the outside world as constant enemy. But the unseen reality was the accelerating collapse of North Korea's economy, its old Soviet props removed, widespread famine, and the growth of huge labour camps for entire families if just one of them was suspected of political dissent. Kim Jong Il was also accused of state-sponsored terrorism. South Korea said he ordered the 1987 bombing of a South Korean airliner, to which a North Korean agent apparently confessed. The world's greatest worry was North Korea's nuclear capability. If coupled to the country's long-range missiles, it represented a massive threat from an unpredictable regime. North Korea's apparent commitment to nuclear disarmament has been a positive pointer. But the end of Kim Jong Il's bizarre rule only adds to the uncertainty.
James Robbins. Well, let's talk to Charles Scanlon. For 7 years, the BBC's correspondent in Seoul.